Andor episode 8. One step forward, two steps back. Paulie here on the Latino Slant, your leading source of Latino entertainment across the board. Make sure you are subscribed and check out our playlists. We cover a lot of great stuff. Well, the latest episode, episode 8 of Andor season 1, has dropped. Episode 8 is called Narkina 5, referring to the prison detention facility planet that Andor is sentenced 6 years to. And I have to say, this is my least favorite episode of a season that I'm really enjoying. I find a lot of it, as far as the storylines, to be redundant and kind of meandering. And in the worst case, two steps back. Okay, so let me talk about what I did like. Let's go on the positive for a second with this particular episode. Um, Unfortunately, it's not anything with the lead character. I think the lead character Andor is probably the most of a disservice. Let's go to Dira. All right, I think that Dira and Cyril meet. There's great tension, and it leads to a new hunt for Andor. You get a sense of not only Dira moving up in the ranks and her respect from her superiors, but she's really hunting down leads all the way to the planet Ferrix, where she ends up interrogating Bix and other members there of Andor's group of buddies. So I really liked where the Mira character is going. It's probably for me, the best part as far as character development, character moving forward in this episode. That's the one step that I saw, because it also you get great insight into how the Empire works, even more so with her just absolute 100% um, just dogged determination to to flesh out. Excuse me, that's not the right word. Flush out this rebel faction. What is going on, especially after Aldani's happened, and so that's why there's a connection of sorts with Cyril, who has been filing these complaints in his new administrative position, and there is a connection. So it's great to see Cyril's character kind of coming back into the fold of the storyline. So those for me were the highlights there, the one step forward. Now, let's also go to a another character in Vel and Citra. Oh wait, that's Mira again. So in the episode before, Luthen is and that rebel faction has asked Citra to go and find Cassian and put him down. So we find Citra on Ferrix. I'm doing surveillance work on Marva Bix. She only has one scene, and it's with Cinta. So Vel and Cinta, who is established now as a couple, have their moment while they're surveillance. And with Val, you get a character that is really, really vulnerable, insecure, not happy with this assignment. And you saw that a little bit right before she gave the final go in the Aldani caper. Whereas Cinta, her other half, is all about the rebellion, and she even says that to Val in this scene. It's like, I'm just showing you a side of me that you fell in love with, but for for our purposes here, it's all about the rebellion. Rebellion first. I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool. I'm trying to find a good photo of Cinta if they even have one here, but I found that little scene to be riveting. Another yeah, I can't find it, so we'll just carry another, highlight, is the screen presence of, Adria Arjona as Bix. Now, it's good to have her back. I found that, her character, as the ex of Cassian, in looking after Marva and then trying to get a hold of find out where Andor's at. She doesn't know that he's been imprisoned. That's some good action. I actually like that, and again, it ties into to Dira, who ends up, um, capturing her at the end of this episode. So, again, the Dira, the things on Ferrex, with these characters are the highlight of the episode. But in an episode that's all like over 50 minutes long, this is really 20 minutes, 30 minutes at max. So there is a lot of filler here. Bix is also, concerned about Marva, the mother, becoming very ill, almost senile. So I was liking that little exchange, that little scene between Bix and Marva. So yeah, let me look over my notes. And I think that is really the highlights as far as that one step forward and the two steps back with this episode. The two steps back is actually twofold. There's two characters that take that in actually well, there's two themes that take steps back. The rebellion with Mon Mothma and Luthen, and then Andor in prison. So I'm gonna wait off on the Andor one because that's my least favorite of this episode. Now, with Mon Mothma and Luthien, I really there was really nothing new with those characters. In fact, it's the same redundancy of her playing the part and then putting on a smile, literally in the scene that we've seen before, putting on a smile, walking away, smiles off. So there's there's nothing new as far as new territory with the character or story that we haven't gotten already, especially from the last episode, especially from after Aldani has passed. So this is really filler for me. Now we do Luthien's character does go and travel to see Saul Guerra, Forrest Whitaker's character. And it was okay. I think what was interesting was that their talk of Luthien wanting him to meet up with another rebel leader. What was interesting to see is all the different factions of the rebellion being talked about and their different purposes and how they're all just so divided from each other. And Saul is really just more of an anarchist, wanting to just kind of do it his own way. So that was kind of interesting, but again, Luthen had just sent Valencenta to go put Andor down, and then they're like, "We have to shut it all down." So story wise, it's like a step back for me. It doesn't make sense as far as okay, you need to shut it down, and you need to, eh, and at the same time, you are trying to hunt down Andor. So maybe instead of shutting it down, it's maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Loose ends, cutting all the loose ends. So that was already established in the scene in the episode before. Again, I thought it would have been way more effective had it just been um, um, kind of part of maybe a different episode or an episode maybe that was this episode 8, they're going 8, 9, 10, 11, that I just feel that It was filler. It was filler. It was something that was conveyed within a minute, and it turned out to be much longer. So a little uninspiring for me. Again, it's already been established. Yeah, it was just frustrating, but not the most frustrating part of this episode for me. For me, it had to have been the incarceration of Andor, which I honestly found it absolutely silly. Absolutely silly. Um, Here are my notes. It starts with a 6-year sentence. He's playing scared and shocked. I don't know why an ex-con who's streetwise and who's a killer, who's a murderer, would be shell-shocked as far as being in prison again. And he plays this for really several scenes. We get it that it's a sterile sci-fi environment. I felt that I've seen this before in other sci-fi stories. The floor leader of his assignment, because he's at a labor facility, is Andy Serkis. His role in this episode, he's just playing kind of that one tone, stay in line, work, don't say shit, or else I'm on you. And that was really it. I I was really disappointed that this character took that our lead character just took these 2 steps back. I, I there's a line in this episode called that says where oppression leads to a rebellion, that Luthien wants more of the empire to oppress the systems, and people will rebel more, and they'll fall in line more. Um, I just found nothing new or interesting in the Andor element, and he's half the episode. I felt I felt that 30-40 minutes of Andor being in prison could have been done in 10. Um, so really, yeah, that's it. It's and that's okay. It's a disappointing episode for me. That happens in a season, and not every episode is going to be great or good. This was at best serviceable, at worst redundant. There was a couple of cool little scenes, like I said. You've seen Andy Serkis, seeing Saul Guerrero, seeing Forrest Whitaker, but the monotony of Andor in prison just was again silly. So we know he's going to be broken out. We know somehow he's going to be free because it's a 6-year sentence, and he's not going to be there for much longer. Um, Again, why couldn't that just been in one episode? That would have been far more riveting. Instead, we are made to see like his daily ins and outs, and they even jump to 30 days, 30 shifts later, um, his work shifts at the facility. Not really for me. So, but that's okay. I don't have to like every episode just because I've been in love with its compelling storytelling. But what happens is that when you're relying so much on character and the dialogue that these characters talk to, and there's very little action, physical action. When that dries up, you can really tell that it's like, okay, they're really just filler for the next episode. All right, I would say, yeah, I would say maybe a 4 out of or 5 out of 10 for me. Well, let me know what you guys think. Did you guys see the episode? Are you watching this series? Check out our Andor playlist, including this video I'm going to include right now in the link to where does anyone even care that Andor season 1 is playing. I do, even though I'm not a fan of this show, of this episode. I still really care about, and still feel that this is kind of like the best season of Star Wars television. All right, my name is Paulie, and this is the Latino Slant. We will see you next time, wherever you're at. Keep that slant fuerte. Gracias.